Hey guys, and welcome to another brand new video. In this video, I just went and moisturized my face, so I thought what else would be kind of cool to go and moisturize the PlayStation 5. Now, that was probably the world's worst intro and probably the strangest intro I think I've done in my entire YouTube career so far, but when it comes to this stuff, we're actually seeing brand new updates for the PS5 Pro. Now, the PS5 Pro has been kind of somewhat outside the news cycle for probably the past week or two. The Switch 2 has kind of taken the world by storm, and we've kind of been seeing more on the focus on finding enough Xbox, Game Pass, is it worth it, or things like the PlayStation canceling games in their game studios in the future and potential state of play coming in the next few weeks. I was hearing some rumors that February we'll be seeing one. There's a lot of stuff all floating around. But one thing to kind of know is that the PS5 Pro is still selling well and people are still enjoying it. And well, there was still a lot of lingering issues and drama when it came to the PS5 Pro Pssr flickering and just the game itself not being fully optimized and the best it possibly can go and be. So we're going to go talk about the fact that it seems like right now that PlayStation has actually been slowly but surely working with companies, having actual proper updates, and seeing actual improvements on the Pssr and just the future that technology as a whole. Now, I'm one of those people, I like it. I've enjoyed the PS5 Pro. I bought one myself. I've been happy with it, and I think the experience so far has been pretty cool. But as well, I'm also very biased. I'm a YouTuber. I've done a lot of PlayStation news. So obviously be like, oh, it's kind of cool. Give them some time to go and cook. Where some people are not in that boat. They want to make sure everything is working day one or when they go and buy it. Completely valid, which is why we make these videos that kind of give you as updates, because maybe there will be a certain PS5 Pssr update, and you're like, this is my time to go and check, which we have all the links down below. Same with the Twitter and Twitch. Would love to have you guys follow down below, and just all this kind of cool stuff in general. As well, we also will probably actually have a second brand new Twitter down below. If you guys haven't followed the YouTube one, I'm going to probably start doing more gaming news on there. So please, if you guys enjoyed that Twitter stuff, I will probably be more active on that one starting very soon once we're done with our little break, which we'll talk about that in the near future. But definitely that'll be linked down below. So follow that separate from the main Twitter we have right now. Sorry, a little bit of shill. But anyway, right now we've been seeing some big news. And I want to highlight this too, because we're seeing some articles floating around and updates with this now. Where right this second, we're seeing that Sony has now been quietly improving the PS5 Pro with the Pssr behind the scenes. Now, as I've made this, I talked about this a lot for that big shimmering issue, and if you guys kind of forgot what it was, I'll give you guys a quick recap on it, where it was basically, it kind of got bad. Let's all be collectively honest here. It did get kind of, bad over time. But here's a good example for Jedi Survivor, which we'll be talking right now. If you guys want to see it, look at the foliage right over here, where my camera's pointing towards. You look at the grass, it's blinking, it's weird, it's rendering strangely. You might have to even maybe backtrack on the video. I'll probably play it through, I'll loop it really quick. But you can kind of see, you're seeing, if you guys are staring in the middle of the screen, the foliage, the trees, leaves, everything, it's not a vibe. And this happened with corners, with shadows, and games like Silent Hill. It wasn't a good vibe. It wasn't a good experience. It's noticeable. There's things like metallic buildings where if the AI was not rendering it properly, it didn't work out well. There's things like foliage, waters, or shadows, or cars, or just random details, lighting effects, everything. And it was a big controversy. I'm sure you guys saw it on my channel. Or if you guys knew, maybe you guys saw it just elsewhere. You saw it on Twitter, you saw it on Reddit, you saw it just in a bunch of different places all around. And it kind of sucked. This was, I think she would probably say, the worst PR that anyone could have. We were even seeing things like Fortnite completely getting rid of the Pssr. They're we're just going to use our own AI. We're Epic. We have make billions of dollars. Who cares? Which is crazy because PlayStation owns a decent bit of Epic. That's nuts. And as well, other various games were we're not going to even want to even try to implement this because there's no incentive for it. There's a few PS5 Pro users, but why care? But there have been a few games out there, such as Alan Wake, this Jedi game, things like Silent Hill, that have either tried their best to implement it or as well have been continually doing this. And that's where right now this big news kind of came on out. Where right now we are seeing proper improvements over here, saying right now that Sony's been making continuous back-end improvements to the tech, which we kind of expected. I did make sure to go mention that a lot of my prior videos, being hey, this is the baby. AI takes a long time. NVIDIA AI or AMD AI, it is machine learning. You need to have the machine start learning. You need to have time to improve the tech. A lot of other AI sources and even things like ray tracing were horrible on initial launch. Horrible, really bad. So at the end of the day, people are sitting here thinking why is it not perfect on day one? Now, if you're spending $700, I'll be honest with you guys, I think you kind of do deserve to have it working day one. I'm not going to excuse PlayStation on it, but I will go give them some props that they have been working and improving the tech itself. So according to a developer working on the PS5 Pro version of their game, there already are a few versions of the Pssr and things are quickly improving. If you have a PS5 Pro, this is money music to hear. If you want to buy a PS5 Pro, this is good. If you want to buy a PlayStation 6 in the future, this might even be better because we're seeing these improvements. We're seeing like things getting better. We're seeing the world chilling. Like, this is good. Like, as a company, we want to know that they're working on their brand new weird experimental technology that people are spending $700 on. Now, once again, should this have been broken as bad as it was, as noticeably as it was day one? Absolutely not, my dude. Like, this was a complete PR disaster. I'm sure someone got fired. I'm sure PlayStation sent out a corporate memo the first time these videos started going viral everywhere. Not my own, just on Reddit, on Twitter, on collectively everywhere. It was a big deal. Everyone knew about the shimmering. You know, it's like almost like it sounds like their own like horror game. But they're basically saying over here too, like there's a lot of these issues that we talked about. But as you see over here, the Star Wars Jedi Survivor game even had their own PS5 Pro patches. Saying the PS5 patch for Star Wars Jedi Survivor arrives today, so a few days ago at this point, but whatever. And this addresses a few issues specific to the PS5 Pro. Updated to the latest Pssr version. So once again, this is confirming that these companies are working hand in hand with PlayStation. So these random like Bluebird teams making these random games like Silent Hill, or EA, which is not owned by PlayStation, but obviously they'd want to have a good business relationship with PlayStation. Probably sells a lot of games, same with the Pro. And they've also confirmed reduce this foliage flickering, which is probably one of the hardest things that like people have noticed. Like I even just highlighted that at the very start of the video. This is good that they're fixing this. It should have been an issue day one, but this is accountability, and I always appreciate accountability. It's also improved the reflection visuals on, say, rivers, which there was also issues too with like waterfalls. I like waterfalls, let's be honest. But like you see like a waterfall flowing around and like you see their water, sometimes the Pssr, the AI copy paste technology would be trying to pick up these water effects to like kind of just make it better, you make it good. And same thing too as well with reduce the flickering in volumetric fog. And this is all kind of how it is, because if we look through all these games, I have a little video over here too as well. Over here on top of this, I was kind of just like looking through all the different things changed over here from this Pixel Analyst, where they had some comparisons in between the two, where they have like the PS5 and baseline PS5 Pro. And I still think you can see the differences. Everything looks a lot nicer, looks a lot smoother, looks a lot cleaner. Like, this is nice to go and see on the various different form modes. But as well, it also does kind of seem like the foliage, the like flickering, and all these weird potential issues are just better. Like, just number one, it looks nicer, yes, but like if you guys kind of stare at this, you could see a lot of potential issues. Say like for these random walls, if you have the PS5 Pro trying to use Pssr and using these shadows, you could still see flickering. Even off that just alone, like you can see the potential on it, like say for shadows and shadow effects, all this type of stuff being copy pasted, like background flickering. You can, in theory, even just based on you could kind of just imagine like how the AI would be having issues with it regardless. And that's like where the big issue was, is that there is going to probably be this weird flickering almost no matter what. It's going to be in the issue. It's going to be regardless, but it's more about minimizing it, making it less impactful, less noticeable, and in future, you basically have the AI itself keep on getting better and better and better, because once again, it's machine learning, and they have a chance to go make the game overall look nicer. And I would also say too, as I've gone through this video and looked through all these like resolution changes and upgrades, that like I saw like the graphics look nicer. I saw the lighting look better. I saw the quality look better. And while it may not still be that big change up that a lot of people were expecting on, and the one big critique is a lot of people didn't really want to spend $700 for these kind of minute changes, and that's why people were kind of riding high on the Pssr. But either way, it does seem like confirmed that these developers from these games are improving. Better graphics, looks nicer, better shadows, the foliage, which was the big deal specifically for the Star Wars game, and same with the water effects that we even highlighted back when that drama was happening like a month or two back ago. It is all been improved. Now, is it perfect? No. And that might be a big deterrent still for some folks in the PS5 Pro. Completely understand. I'm in the same boat. Like, if it's not working perfectly, that could be apprehensive. Once again, I'm biased. I'm a YouTuber. I can make a little bit of money off making pro videos, put some ads on it. If you guys ever watch ads on my channel, thank you. But like at the same time, I'm still happy with it, because it does seem like these improvements are getting noticeable. It looks like the developers are finally putting out these updates and patches. And it does seem like the overall community is enjoying the vibe of it, where the overall community is realizing like, hey, these games are still getting better. The Pssr over time will get better. And as they machine learn, use the AI more, and keep on doing updates with the internal specs, it will make the PS6 better. It'll make the PS5 Pro a year or 2 or 3 years from now better. And of course, any PlayStation Studios games, we haven't really had a chance to see in that next big gen on the Pro. And even though you kind of look at this type of stuff, you do kind of still see a little bit of the shimmering over there. I'm not sure if you guys had a chance to see that. I'm going to say reflections on the Pro itself. So it's still going to be there. but hopefully over time it'll be a little bit nicer overall. But yeah, this is kind of cool to see that PlayStation is trying to make things better, trying to make things nicer, and while still working on the PS5 Pro. So I'd love to hear your thoughts and comments. Is it like too much of a dud? Are you hyped up for it? All the links if you want to buy one are still down below, and I appreciate you guys all so much for watching. Subscribe if you guys are new. We have the Twitters down below and the Twitch, and I appreciate you all so much for watching here in the first place.